Today we're visiting with Fisheries Development Supervisor Bob Freilich, and we're going to talk about boating access statewide. I'm Mike Anderson with the North Dakota Game and Fish Department. Bob, access on Lake Sakakawea and the Missouri River system relies a lot on the snowpack in the mountains. How's the snowpack in the mountains looking?
Yeah, right now, Mike, the mountain snowpack in Montana is, it ranges depending on what drainage you're in, but it's, somewhere in that 110, 115%. So it's not, off the charts or anything, but it's good. We're gonna get a lot of water coming down the system from that.
So access on Lake Sakakawea should be good this year? Absolutely,
yeah. Access on Sakakawea right now, based on the latest Corps forecast, which just came out a few days ago, shows that the lake is, going to come up about 10 to 12 feet this summer, which is going to put us back into that range. We're really close to where it was last summer, and most, if not all, of our boat ramps on the big lake will be usable.
Okay, how about the Missouri River system?
Missouri River system relies a little bit more on just what the releases are from the Garrison Dam up there. And again, with plenty of water in the big lake, the Corps will be releasing enough water to keep every ramp between the dam and Lake Oahe open and usable. Oahe was looking kind of dim, but even this latest forecast has got Oahe coming up to whereas almost every boat ramp on Lake Oahe is going to be usable this summer.
How about Devil's Lake?
Devil's Lake was about 2.5 feet higher right now than it was last year at this time. It actually had gone up about 4 feet, but then through summer evaporation, it dropped back down about 1.5 feet. But right now I think they're projecting about 1.5 foot, 2 foot rise from the plain snow again. So everything on Devil's Lake, we've got 10 boating access sites up there, and all 10 of them should be open and usable.
Bob, a lot of snow on the landscape, a lot of boat ramps in these district lakes. How are things looking on the district lakes this year?
Yeah, things are looking really good as far as access. The downside, it's kind of a double-edged sword. A lot of snow is going to lead to some winter kill that we're going to have on some of our district lakes. But in terms of access, things are probably going to be as good as they get. This local snowpack that we've got is going to fill everything up, and any boat ramp that's out there should be open and usable.
And anglers hitting some of these boat ramps early on. Be aware of like muddy roads and stuff when you're heading into these ramps.
That's right. You just never know, I guess. It depends on each particular lake and county, I guess. But typically when we have this much snow, you're going to have maybe even some flooded roadways that are going to maybe even be closed. But things will be definitely muddy this spring. So, but as far as access and once things get going, we're going to be in really good shape.
Bob, you guys build a few new boat ramps a year. Any big projects this summer?
We do. I think we've got about 12 ramps on the schedule right now. Some of those are just real simple ramps. We call them primitive gravel ramps. And sometimes you have a lake or a water body that doesn't quite warrant a cement ramp yet, or maybe the locals don't want that. So we go in and we'll shape the bank and we'll put down some crushed rock and gravel, just enough to firm up the bed so that anglers can still launch their boats and back in. We had some ramp extension projects on the plan, but I'm guessing with all the runoff that those probably won't happen, because those were extensions to the bottom end of ramps. And then the bulk of our ramp projects that we've got this year, Mike, are projects where we're replacing an existing ramp that's out there. And the reason we're replacing it is that either it's a concrete plank ramp that's busted up and buckled, or a slide-in metal boat ramp that's ice buckled, or just an old concrete ramp that's been out there for 30, 40 years that needs to be upgraded. But yeah, we've got, scattered around the state, we've got probably, 8 of those.
Bob, you guys deal with fish cleaning stations too. Any new fish cleaning stations this year?
No, in terms of new fish cleaning stations, Mike, we don't have anything on the plan. We only did one last year. We have a total of about 64 fish cleaning stations scattered around the state. And the main emphasis with the fish cleaning stations is that we're not really building anything new, but we're retrofitting and upgrading the ones that we've got. So the old grinders that are in those things have been causing us problems and issues, and a lot of them have been around for quite a while. But what we do is we've got a new vendor now, a new supplier with a better, bigger, quieter grinder. And we're going out, and when one goes down, we go in there and tear out the guts basically and replace it with a new one. And we've got, I think, 4 of those planned for this summer. We've also got a drain field that's going to be replaced up on Sakakawea at Newtown Marina. So yeah, we're busy there.
Bob, you guys also rely on a lot of wildlife clubs or wildlife entities to help you with putting docks in or helping with the fish cleaning stations. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, we do. I mean, we have a pretty small crew, for the whole state of North Dakota, and we simply could not build, manage, and maintain all of the facilities that are out there. I think there's close to probably 3,000 or 4,000 different facilities, scattered around at these 450 fishing lakes that we have. And the department just wouldn't be able to do that. So we heavily rely on local clubs, park boards, water resource districts, lake associations. There's a wide mix of different entities that we work with to build them, but then more importantly to maintain them at the end. So it's very important, and really the success of our whole program relies on those groups.
Bob, overall, statewide boating access on most of our lakes, or if not all of our lakes, should be good in 2023.
Absolutely, yeah. I think it's probably as good as it's been in the last 2-3 years for sure. We got a lot of water on the landscape and more coming from Montana, so things are going to be good.
A lot of great information, Bob. Thank you.
Yep, thanks, Mike.